Hello, this is Matthew Chan and
Martha Leverett,
and we're here to do another video for you. And this time around I want to share a little story about how actually Martha and I met. It's kind of an interesting story, and because I think it's a pleasant accident. Had it not been for this accident, we would not be doing this video today. So Martha, let's turn the clock back to I think it was about 2005. I'm going to turn the clock back a little bit before I met you. Okay. Now, the person that we're going to talk about, you know who she is.
Yes.
Okay, but we're not going to say her name on the video.
Okay.
And she came on board, I think, somewhere early 2005. And the reason why I hired her is I thought that she was very energetic. She was passionate about her work. She seemed to be very conscientious. I mean, there was definitely some energy about her. Okay, she wasn't. Yeah. She didn't strike me as a lazy person. Just kind of lackadaisical. So now I think you would agree that sometimes she lacked a little bit of polish and she had a bit of a fiery temper.
Yes, she did.
And but like I said, the purpose of this video is not to disparage anybody, but just kind of set the scene because she worked for me and she actually did a really good job most of the time. Most of the time she did a good job, and I felt that for the most part we had a good working relationship. But it quickly dawned on me that after I hired her, because when I came into Columbus, I was building up the business, I got behind on my taxes and accounting.
Yes.
And she was not hired specifically for accounting and bookkeeping.
Right.
And I had tax issues. She could input some things, she could do some clerical things, but she really wasn't a bookkeeper per se. So we both agreed that we needed to look for somebody. Now, she had worked for a law firm, of course, for an attorney, local attorney here, who you know, because you were working.
I was doing his bank reconciliations and all his different types of accounts. Right,
and she had told me that, you know, you had done a fairly good job and you were reasonable and all that, and that's when I said, hey, let's go schedule an interview. So how did she approach you, just by the way, just out of curiosity?
Well, she just called me up and reminded me of who she was and told me that she was working for you and that you had quite a few prior years of bookkeeping that needed to be done. Right. And asked me would I be interested, and I told her sure.
And I was actively, by the way, I was actively engaged in shoebox accounting, which we will talk about in another video. And what it is the shoebox accounting is you get like a big box and you throw all your paperwork in there and you sort it out later. Yeah. But that's a whole different story.
Very much.
But so we're chugging along. You would come in. So Martha, you got to share with our audience some of the experiences while you were in the office. There were a few tense moments. Huh?
There were a few tense moments. I would be sitting over here at this desk working on the bookkeeping, and she would be over at her desk working on book orders or, you know, different office stuff. And there were a few tense moments where she wanted to do things her way, and Matthew wanted her to do things his way. And sometimes it got loud, and sometimes it, you know, I was sitting over there going, okay, do I say something? Do I really want to be here? I said, and then there was a little bit of time where I was doing bookkeeping for other people too, and I thought, well, I think I'm going to just leave that one alone for a little bit and see, you know, if they work their way out. And then I got this email about a phantom bookkeeper. Came in and did work and then disappeared. So
and never wanted to come back.
Got back in touch with him and went back over there, and you know.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was. I mean, obviously, I don't want to dwell on the past, but I did hire her. And I wasn't trying to strong arm her, but I mean, it's not like
it
I wasn't aware.
It was your business. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it did. There were definitely tense moments, but I didn't realize it was. So distressful to you, but looking back, I suppose that it could be because you don't want to work in that kind of environment.
Right, right.
And not to dwell on the soap opera aspect of it, but it turned out that she had to leave because she was going to have another baby. It was kind of unexpected, and it kind of left me in a bit of a quandary You know, because it wasn't, we weren't sure if she was going to be gone for good or what. So there was a period of time I was kind of on my own, kind of lingering.
Right.
And eventually, I made a stab at trying to hire somebody, but that didn't work out really well. I mean, I just didn't find the right candidate. So she and I got to talking, and we thought she'd come back, you know, and work. But anyway, long story short is when she came back, you know, it was short-lived. Yeah, it was short-lived, and she basically left without any notice because she was offended because I was actually requesting, you know, what she was doing.
Accountability of what she was doing.
Yeah, exactly. I just needed clarification. I felt like she wasn't being productive, and
which shouldn't have been an issue, you know, but it was.
Yeah, but I tell everybody that, and you know, ironically, after that happened, I really wasn't worked up about it. I mean, I just wasn't that worked up. I was more worked up about, well, who am I going to get to do the job?
Yes.
But it was not so much, after that, I was like, you know, I was at peace with it. I wasn't even that angry.
Right.
So, I just thought it was just a service. It gave me the opportunity. But, you know, eventually, I had to do some thinking, and I was like, okay, I'm in a bit of a quandary. I need somebody more than a bookkeeper or an accounting person. And I was like, well, gosh, maybe I'll approach Martha to be an office manager. So, when I called you up, I think I was being a little cryptic.
Yes. It's like you were trying to feel me out and see what I thought, and I had just...
And I made you come in.
Yeah.
It was person to person.
Yeah.
We didn't I just like, can you come in and let's talk?
And I had just did away or discontinued 2 clients.
Right, right.
So
the timing was actually pretty good.
Timing was very good. When you called and wanted me to come over and sit down and talk about your publishing side of your business and being an office manager.
Right. I wanted you in a managerial role.
Right.
I mean, you know, and all the aspects. I mean, it wasn't just the real estate.
Right.
You know, and the taxes, all that. I mean, I really wanted you to take on as much as you wanted.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Also, at the same time, I was a little bit concerned that, you know, I was like, hey, look, it's not my job. I don't want to do that. And you know.
But it was exciting. I enjoyed it. It was, once again, something different, and so we.
Yeah, it worked out really good.
Yeah, I think we worked out real well together.
And I'm telling the story because really, it really, I guess I can't help but brag about Martha that, you know, she's not, she takes on responsibility, she owns it, and in such a way, I mean, it's almost, sometimes I feel guilty because she's still thinking about us, even when she's off. Sometimes she calls and says, hey, did you do this and do that? And I was like, Martha.
That is a bad thing. I've woke up in the middle of the night and sat up going, did he do that? Did he take care of that?
But your clients love you for it.
I know they do.
And
so, I appreciate them too.
And but it is kind of funny that you know, because of what happened then, that, you know, that bad thing that has led to such a great working relationship where you and of course, you know, Wes, you know, I mean, for the longest time I said, look, you're going to have to bring Martha. I mean, your life will be a lot easier and pleasant.
But you had suggested the person before, and he didn't want to have anything to do with her, so he was leery of me, you know.
Well, there was also another person who had
that did some work for him, who showed up when she felt like it and did...
But it took him a little while for you to work away. And so anyway, we worked.
And now he wouldn't want to have his business without me.
Well, and the thing about it is, I just want all of you to know, it's very telling when a client decides to ask the person that he's hired to say, hey, let's be business partners and let's go ahead and do it. Because I do believe in her, and I do think that, you know, together, because I'm really pretty good at the internet marketing and technology, and I have a business owner's perspective, I think that we can provide a service that very few in Columbus can provide. Whether it's a single office scenario or you've got an office of a staff of 10, I feel very confident we can handle your needs.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you for taking the time to listen to the story. I hope it helps you get a better understanding of, you know, what Martha and I are all about, where we came from, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
Bye.